Hometown Happenings is brought to you by Foothill 7 TV and the Thompson's family of automotive dealerships.
Well, good evening. I'm Wendy Thomas. I'm on the Placerville City Council, and tonight it is my absolute pleasure to welcome Hollis and Sue from Toys for Tots. So it is that time of year again, isn't it?
Yes.
My goodness.
Toys for Tots.
You know, we always, when all the bins start coming out, it's kind of the harbinger of Christmas, and we all start to panic saying, oh shoot, Christmas is around the corner. So
no, it's when we were at the bell tower for the Halloween festival, and then I realized next week the boxes go out.
It starts.
And we're on our game.
Yep.
Hard to believe it's this time of year. But all right, so we've all heard about Toys for Tots. We've seen them. Probably all of us have participated. But tell us, what really is Toys for Tots? What's your mission?
You got it.
No, you do, because you're the Marine.
No, it's going to rain.
Yes.
Toys for Tots was started in 1947 by a Major Hendricks. He was a Marine Reserve. After World War II, they came back, and there was a lot of families in need after World War II, and things. You know, the economy wasn't good, and his wife actually is the one that started it. She started making toys and
making dolls.
Making dolls and refurbishing old broken down toys, and they were taking them and giving them to kids in need.
Wow.
And that's what started the Toys for Tots. And then it just grew and grew and grew. And then they actually now, starting in 1956, I believe, they actually have a foundation that's sponsored by it's an official foundation, sponsored by the Marine Corps. It is the only military-sponsored foundation in existence.
Wow.
It is a 501(c), and it stands alone. It just has sponsorship from the military. They don't really get any funds from the military or the Department of Defense.
Okay.
Or the taxpayers. It's all grant and donation driven.
Okay.
All over the United States. There's 750 Toys for Tots campaigns.
So it's nationwide.
Nationwide. We're just one of 750.
And how did you get involved in that?
Well, I got stationed with reserves in the 80s up in New England. And the reserves traditionally are the hosts for Toys for Tots. They run the Toys for Tots campaigns. And if there's not a reserve unit within a certain number of miles in a community, then any nonprofit organization, or in this case, Marine Corps League, which is a group of retired and active duty Marines,
and other branches.
And other branches of the service, we are what is known as an LCO, which is a local community organization.
Like a chapter.
Chapter.
Okay.
And then we apply to the foundation for Toys for Tots. And so we're actually sponsored, and that puts us in the good graces of the Toys for Tots Foundation, so we can legally go out there and use the Toys for Tots logo and the Toys for Tots name and put our collection containers out and collect toys, and then we distribute toys in December just before Christmas.
So who do you serve? Who's your target?
It's just the families in need in the community, you know, the kids that their parents are maybe they're out of work, or they're low income families that just don't have the means and the funds to get, give their kids a good Christmas.
Christmas is an expensive proposition these days. It's really tough.
Especially
And
nowadays. It's not getting any cheaper.
No, it's not.
To interject too, that this is the 34th year that the Marine Corps League
Dorado County.
El Dorado County is putting on Toys for Tots. And we also couldn't do this without our partners, which is the El Dorado Hills Fire Department, with Chris Landry as the coordinator down in El Dorado Hills, because with the two campaigns, we are successful in being able to meet the needs to the kids in our community and our county, which is really very important to us, because the kids are our future, and to giving them something and to make sure that they know what the feeling of Christmas and the spirit of Christmas and the charity is really important to us. And even I have some kids, even families who have received toys in the past who are now our volunteers, who talk about the time when they were struggling and it was hard, particularly one woman who stopped me in a coffee shop because she saw my Toys for Tots shirt and gave me $10, and she said, I'm so glad to give you the $10 because a few years ago I couldn't have given you $10.
Wow.
Because I was, it was down on my luck and out of a job, and I needed toys.
Wow.
And she said, can I sign up to volunteer? And so she's been volunteering.
Paying it forward and giving it back.
Yes, exactly, which is
wonderful.
the whole thing, because the Toys for Tots is a community and it's everybody's charity,
Yeah.
which is really good.
Now, how do you find the kids and the families in need? How do you know where they are and how to help them?
Well, we have a great relationship with Jeremy Myers, Susan Carney, Jeremy, who's the superintendent through the Dorado County Office of Education, Susan Carney, who's super fantastic woman who runs the show, I like to say, for the Office of Education.
We couldn't do it without
And
it.
we couldn't do it, but they do the registration as teachers, and I am a teacher, and educators. We really know firsthand who is in need.
You know who's in our community. You know the
And
families.
So the
Yeah.
applications are going to be going out. Families can start registering the first Monday after Thanksgiving.
So they can sign up their own family
Yes,
to be a part of the
kids,
program. That's
to
good
be
to
part
know.
of it. They will register. They'll be given a day. They'll be given a time slot, and they will come to Indian Creek School in December to wait and pick up their toys. And we have a lot of volunteers. So not only are we looking for families to be sure that reaching out to them in our community for sign up, but we're also reaching out for the community to look for volunteers. Toy donations are greatly appreciated. Even businesses, corporations here in the area, if they're listening to us and seeing this segment, that please, contact us, because we're a small organization. In 6 weeks, I hit the ground running, both my husband and I. I don't know what's going to sustain later, the Toys for Tots or our marriage sometimes, but we have a lot of great friends and a lot of community support and everything, but we're always looking for more, and we need to collect at least 15,000 toys to make a goal.
15,000. That was
To
going
make
to
it
be my
happen.
next question. What do you need
That's
to
our
support the
target
kids in our
goal.
community?
That's our target goal, to make it all happen.
And how many did you receive last year?
We
Almost 17,
almost 17.
close to 18,000.
Wow.
1,000 now, but they include, the way the calculations go for national, those include little stocking
Stocking
stuffers.
Like the little Matchbox
Little
cars,
cars,
some
and they
real
consider
small
that.
toys.
So they count that towards that 18,000. So realistically, it's probably was between 15 to 17,000, taking out all the little small pieces.
That's
in it.
remarkable.
But it is. It's in a big giant toy shop for 48 hours, and it all, by Sunday at 5 o'clock, it all goes away, because we also, because Toys for Tots is such a really wonderful, marvelous charity and stuff, that we also support a lot of other charities as well. The Chips for Kids, their toy program, the Placerville
That's who the
Police
cops,
Department.
the police department?
Police
Mhm.
Department, the Sheriff's Department, we help them.
Wow.
Christmas on the Divide, we are helping them. St. Patrick's Church's Giving Tree, and there is Birthday Buddies and a couple other charities, foster kids. Because every toy that we collect them for the kids, and then they got to go away, because we have no storage.
we have no
to
storage.
read it.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
They're
No
not-
storage facility.
And-
Well, we
and-
have a small storage that we keep our containers in
Yeah.
year-round, which is up on the other end of town.
And one of the things he had to promise is the toys couldn't come home, or we wouldn't have a house, because it's tough. So
So
We still
everything's
end up from time to time with a couple of 3 or 4 large bags full of toys.
Somebody will drop 'em
that
off the
sit in the
doorstep.
garage for 3 or 4 months because somebody.
And you can't say no
somebody
to that.
decides, hey,
No, and
they
we
have
don't.
Toys for Tots.
And we
hey, we
don't.
got some toys for you, and it's July.
Oh,
It's
dear.
okay,
July.
what
And
am I
that's
gonna do?
fine. That's
So we
fine.
want toys now.
So we're going to start putting it in
Now
your
for
garage.
Christmas.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So when the distribution comes, families come when you get ready to
Mm-hmm.
distribute them in December. Do families choose the toys, or how does that work? Or do you give them according to their age of their child? Or
Well, we took
Well,
over
a little
Toys for,
both.
we took over Toys for Tots 7 years ago, and the folks that was doing it before me, Dick Hansen ran Toys for Tots for 10 years, and then Bill Johnson had it before that, and they established a method where it works like a warehouse picker.
okay.
So in other words, the family comes
Santa's
in,
helper.
the family
Nice
family
name.
fills out a wish list, and we give them a date and time. Like
Okay.
we give them a 1-hour window. Say, okay, we'll see you between 8 and 9 o'clock on Saturday morning.
Okay.
So that way we don't have big long lines going all the way around the block.
That's nice.
So it's kind of scheduled.
Okay.
And then if somebody comes in and say, oh, I was supposed to be here tomorrow, that's fine. We don't
Come
send,
on in.
We don't send them away and say,
No.
come back tomorrow.
We help
Sure.
everybody.
You know, if somebody shows up the wrong day at the wrong time, we don't want them to really make a habit of it, but that's okay. And the family gets a copy, and then we have a copy that we put on a clipboard, and we make sure it's the right person, and it's like a wish list. And
Okay.
then we walk around, and they got teams of 2.
Wow.
And they have a big, like, 50-gallon trash bag, and a clipboard, and that team walks around, fills the wish list, and then takes it to the back door, and then they give it to the family.
That's
And do that.
amazing.
And we do get
And we
special
get a
requests.
team, what do we have, 150, between 150 and 200 people in the multi-purpose room at one time,
Yeah.
plus
Wow.
toys.
They do toys.
That's remarkable.
It's just wall-to-wall people.
And we do, when there is a special request, or if there's a special need child, which we do come across, or there's something that's really going on, we will have, not our pickers, but our Santa helpers.
Okay.
Santa's helpers.
And we send them out and we talk to them, and we get one of the ladies, the Toys for Tots ladies, that I have a group that hangs out with me, and they'll all together find something that's really cool, really special, and very unique.
Oh.
And we really try very hard to match up their requests. Although when we have like 500 Barbies that come in, and,
Yeah, one year we had over 500
and a dozen
Barbie dolls.
Kens one year.
Oh, dear.
And so we make everything work.
Wow.
And we make it happen. And even though for the national, the age cutoff is at 13.
Okay.
Even if there are kids within that family that are 15, 14 or
14,
16,
15. We take care of
do
them.
our best.
We do our best.
We do our best to take care of them, but we try to share and tell people that, it's really hard. I know when
Wow.
my kids were that age and the older teens, it was impossible. Cash was easier to give to them.
It's hard to
But-
know what they want, but,
But
still.
at a national level and a local level, we can't give
We can't,
money
yeah,
we
because
can't
we
do that.
don't know where it's going.
Right.
So we do our best. We have a lot of older type things for kids that we try to the care of them with
Yeah.
as best we can.
So that's
So we're
nice
not
of
gonna
people
turn them away.
to donate. To keep in mind, up to 13 is generally the
Yeah.
age limit, but
Right.
also some items for teens is also a nice
Yeah.
thing to
And
donate
ni-
as well.
it's a really, really
That's
nice
good
thing
to
to
keep
doing
in
that.
mind.
See, that's the rules that are mandated by the foundation. That's the,
Okay.
from newborn to 13. or
Okay.
Up into including 13.
Now,
So those
people
are the
can
rules
give.
we have to play by.
Okay, so people, if they want to support Toys for Tots, which I encourage everyone to do, certainly they can put items in the bins.
Mm-hmm.
Do you also take cash donations, and how do people
Yes,
give
we
cash
do.
donations?
We prefer that they write, because it's easier logistically for them to write a check.
Okay.
In other words, yes, we won't turn away cash. Okay.
It's harder to
It's just-
keep
It's
accounted
because
for,
I have to
yes.
convert it to a check, and then I have to mail
Okay.
it back to the foundation. Because one of the things they established a number of years ago, and it works really, really well for financial purposes, is you write out a donation check to Toys for Tots Foundation.
Okay.
And we mail it back to the foundation. It goes into our account, and then we have an ATM card.
And then you can go
We go
shopping
buy
and,
toys,
yes, and
then
meet
we
those
buy
special
toys,
needs.
and in other words, if you donate me $20, write me a check for $20, I send that to the foundation. That $20 goes on our account, and then I can go buy toys with it.
Okay, and I heard a really special thing happened last year out of some misfortune. The famous Christmas parade that was canceled last year.
yes.
Yeah,
Christmas
remember last
parade.
year? And that was you must have been in a panic mode, because I know the Christmas parade is a big push for you to receive toys. And I heard some great things happened out of that. And
Actually, it worked out pretty
really
well.
worked out.
tell us a little bit about that.
There was a group of us that retired to the Starbucks up on Broadway.
Yeah,
and
after
they're
I
all
get the
sitting in the
call.
corner with their lips sticking out. And
Oh.
And I
everybody's
come
like,
in and they're all wet and dressed, and it's like, aren't you old enough to know to stay out of the rain? And we're looking out the windows, and it's just
The sun's
sheets.
shining by now. It's like
Yeah,
1
but it was
o'clock in the
horrible in the
afternoon.
morning.
It was horrible, and the thing was interesting. The parade has never been canceled.
I know.
I hear from the old timers. It's rain, it's snow, it's they have the parade. No,
So you must have been in a little bit of panic mode.
Well,
Yeah.
no, I'm going okay, because it's just the mindset that Marines and other branches of the service, military guys get this mindset.
Okay.
It's like, okay, the first thing we need to do is get our hands on all those toys that we're
Yes,
going to be donating.
So what'd you do?
I need to find a way
I-
to get my hands on those toys.
But
we
I
started
told
making phone
them
calls.
they could have the cup of coffee, and then they had to go back out and go get my toys.
Okay.
By that time, a couple people came over who were supposed to be the
They
parade.
saw the red Toys for Tots
and
hats
they
and
said,
shirts.
"Can we donate? Give you the toys?" And we said, "Yes, of course." So we were taking toys there, and then one of the guys
We had
said,
people walking and giving us toys at
he
Starbucks.
said, "Well, let's take the bell tower." And I'm going, "Oh, great! How am I going to ask for this?" And then I thought, "Okay,
Started
the Marines,
making phone calls.
Marines taking
Marines
the bell
can take the bell tower. I like
So,
it. That's a
we
nice
did.
ring to it.
That night, I
No pun
put out
intended.
an email. I had, I think, over 100 people, and by Monday morning, I had calls from the city manager. I had calls from the police chief. I had calls from Downtown Association. everything was cut through. That next following weekend, the Marines and all the service organizations took the bell tower.
And people flooded downtown with
Oh, yeah.
donations.
We had a ball.
And I
mean,
also
it was
understand
so fun.
that with the money that you received, you went out and bought toys down with the local merchants.
Yes.
Well,
we did.
one of the
And
one of
we
the
loved
ladies,
it.
one of the
That's
well, actually,
awesome.
girlfriend of one of our fellow Marines, Jack Babbitt. She's a shopaholic. I
So you sent her out on a mission?
I just handed her the money. I said, "Go shopping."
And you did it in downtown
And
Placerville.
we did, and
I
it was
love
really
that.
important. Even
Let's
a
keep the
couple
money right
I
here.
love that. That's
businesses
wonderful.
came out with their employees and said, "We'll give you another discount if you come back in and shop."
We even had the employees helping her deliver the toys.
helping to deliver the toys. It was
worked out
it
well.
was something that I had not seen in a long time. But the spirit, the community, the uniqueness at that bell tower, and those shops and the families that own those shops, it was just over the top. Even the woman Brenda down at the toy store, she said she witnessed
Was it the,
parents with children coming in talking about
Yeah.
finding a toy for a special child and giving it and going and taking it and giving it to the Marines.
Oh.
down
Well,
the
people-
bell
we
tower.
found out
So,
after
I mean,
we-
this is
That's what this
awesome.
community is all about.
We found out
Yes.
afterwards what folks were doing is they were driving by and they saw what we were doing.
Wow.
They were going to the local toy stores downtown.
Love it.
Like Tiddlywinks, is that the
Yes,
name of it?
uh-huh.
Going down to Tiddlywinks, buying toys and bringing them back.
And bring
Wow.
it back. I mean, somebody was shopping for Toys for Tots, and we heard it from all the merchants.
That's incredible.
And so this year we were welcomed back. We
So this year, tell us
can't
about your
wait.
plans for this
So
year.
it was a win-win for everybody,
Yes.
as
That's
it
so
turned
good.
out.
We are
So
gonna
we're
be-
hoping it rains again this year. No, I'm
the
not. I
parade
didn't really
won't be
say that.
canceled.
I didn't
No,
really
no,
say
no,
It
that.
will
no.
not be canceled. Richard Esposito has assured us of that.
We are at the bell tower on Saturday and Sunday.
7th and 8th.
December the 7th and 8th.
So it's
from
the
10 to
weekend
4.
after the parade. You're at the
Yes.
bell tower again.
Yes,
Correct.
we are.
So you're going to take part. Of course, the parade will go on December
1st.
December 1st, Sunday, December 1st. That's Thanksgiving weekend.
Yes.
So the normal Toys for Tots parade will be a part of that, and then the next weekend you're going to take the bell tower
Bell tower,
again.
which is great.
Great.
Absolutely awesome.
What,
I
8 to
think-
5, 8 to 4, or whatever it is?
No, 10 to 4.
Yeah.
I'll be there
Good,
10
I
to
get
10
to
to
sleep
4.
in. I get to sleep in.
So what do you need most from this community? How can we most wrap ourselves around you to make this successful for the children of our community?
Toys.
Toys. All
Toys.
right.
Boxes in every store.
Boxes in every store.
We already
want
have-
the community to come out to downtown
This
and
year we-
celebrate not only for the parade, but also to come to us to the bell tower.
Great.
Shop in Placerville
And
that day and enjoy the
countywide,
fun with us.
countywide, we're at, and this is countywide, not just downtown Placerville,
Right.
Placerville Drive. We have boxes in Diamond Springs, Missouri Flat, Pollock Pines, Camino, Shingle Springs,
And El Dorado
Cameron
Hills?
Park.
Cameron Park.
El Dorado Hills is handled by
The fire department?
El Dorado County Fire.
Full Garden
El
Valley.
Dorado Hills Fire Department, excuse me.
Georgetown.
Right.
Georgetown, the Divide, and we have a few boxes in Cool.
Oh, that's
And
amazing.
we're branching out. So right now, I've got 261 boxes deployed.
Yeah.
261
In other words, I actually can remember
boxes.
how many boxes are out there. It's scary, huh?
That's amazing. Now, a couple quick questions while we're wrapping this up. Is there a website that people
Mm-hmm.
can go to where you list maybe the special needs of the toys that you need? Is there anywhere that people can find that so they can meet those specific needs, or do you mainly handle that?
We just handle it. Just call us.
Okay.
Just call.
Just call. We
we're
don't get that
mainly-
many.
Oh, you don't. Okay.
Okay.
Mainly, we're looking for toys that I always pretend going in, if it's a toy I wanted as a kid, then that was going to be a great toy to give to another kid.
That's a good thing
You
to
know,
keep in mind.
because you're
Right.
sharing that connectivity and you're giving something that has something that was a part of your life and give it to this other kid to hopefully pass that on in a different, to that child so that they can enjoy what it would be that
Well, it's
special
like
present.
Special feeling,
last
yeah.
year, I don't even know the lady's name. She never did tell us her name. We were in Walgreens and purchasing a few items because we get a pretty good deal from Jeremy over there.
Uh-huh.
He tells us when his sales are, so we get buy one, get
And
two. Buy one,
Kmart
get
does the
one.
same-
Oh,
and
excellent.
Walmart does the same thing.
And
Wonderful.
there was this lady and her child, I think she was like 7 or 8 years old, and she saw what she was doing. And
Oh, that's
her
right, I
daughter was
remember
shopping
this.
for Toys for Tots.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
we got
wonderful.
into doing that.
How wonderful.
And then, there was another couple, and another time that we were in the store, and I was over, and then right in the holiday period, and the mother did not want the dad to take her down toys because there was just there wasn't any money, and it was just heartbreaking to listen to the story.
Oh.
It bothers me because the fact is, yeah, and I know needs because we've been there too.
We've all been there.
And then I went over and I introduced myself and gave them and told them, you know, the application and where to go to register, you know, and we look forward to seeing that. And, you know, and there was some relief that came across the couple, because the last thing you want to see is a young family, and I know it's stressful, but to be fighting and arguing about something and you're, you know,
I think that
kids there,
family's
it's like-
actually volunteers now too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
So
would
if
break
they
your
could
heart
do
as a
that.
parent not to be able
And
to.
it just
to
does.
Yeah.
And when I had one of my volunteers remembered, you know, standing there, helping, giving toys away, and remember what it was like standing outside the door waiting for the toys, and he wasn't sure if he could do it, and I said, you could do it, and he's been one of my volunteers that comes back year after year.
So how do people get a hold of you to volunteer?
Call us 530-344-9384, or you can email us at edct@gmail.com.
Okay.
Or go to any store, go to the Office of Education, ask anybody, they seem to find us.
It's a small community. We can find you.
We
and
can-
get in
We
touch.
also, we also have a young man here in Placerville that's getting into web development, and he's built us a website, and it is also edct4t.org.
Oh, that's
.org.
wonderful.
So we got a website too.
Well, what a blessing you are to our community, and it's
Now,
just.
if you log into the website, just understand it's a work in progress.
It's a work
okay?
in progress.
It's
We
a work in
change
progress.
things.
So
like
and-
other things in our
And,
community.
and one last thing I have to say that I found it was really interesting, because I came to California music and I used to do backup vocals for the Beach Boys. And one of the things
Really?
I realized that was interesting was that at 1947 and up to 1950, Hollywood got very much behind Toys for Tots, and they used to do toy call drive-ins to
Okay.
different locations, and the Beach Boys used to always support that.
Oh.
And I never realized that. Of course, I didn't sing with them until the late 70s, early 80s.
How
but it was-
exciting.
but I never realized that there was a toy drive-in and call-in shows, just like a telethon.
Wow.
And big stars came out for
So
Toys
do
for
I
Tots.
expect you'll be singing at the Bell Tower on December 7th and 8th?
Well,
Yes.
Norm has my music
Okay,
that I
well, Norm will
sang.
hook you up.
I sang on some of their Christmas music.
And before
so-
we go, a little bit of trivia. A lot of folks don't know it, and if you don't believe me, you can go up on the internet and verify this. The Toys for Tots train was developed by Walt Disney.
Yes.
Really?
Yep.
Oh, I love that.
Walt Disney was a Marine.
And he believed in magic for children, and
And it
that's
is
what
magic.
you're carrying on. I
So
love
he's
that.
doing
he's the
that.
one that created the train.
Oh, I love that.
So magic, right?
Magic. And to get you started,
Yes.
we'll get you started on
Holly, here's your baby.
yeah, on a few toys, and there'll
Oh,
be
cool. This is mine.
This is Monster Mash. We're
there'll
gonna
be more
do-
coming, and so just I thank our community. I know we're
We got a new
generous,
mascot.
loving community, and
Yay, thank you.
Thank you for leading the charge, and
Thank you. No,
look
thank
forward
you.
to making some
Yes,
holiday magic.
we are
for our
definitely
community.
looking forward to that.
Looking forward to it.
So thank you for all you do.
Thank you.
Thank you. Say
Been a
goodbye,
pleasure.
Holly.
Bye, Holly.
Bye, Holly.
And that's it for tonight's
Yay!
segment.
Do, 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 do.